The cold open, the 2003 comparison. For 2 decades, 2003 was the untouchable standard. LeBron, Wade, Bosh. A class so deep, it redefined the NBA for an entire generation. But in the scouting offices of all 30 NBA teams, they aren't talking about 2003 anymore. They're talking about 2026. Welcome to the most anticipated draft cycle in modern history. We are looking at a top 3 so polished, scouts are calling them Day 1 All-Stars. But beneath the hype, there is a dangerous reality. While the league is ready to tank for the Big 3.
Throwback, Wade. Wade floater off the glass. Spaghetti boards the miss. Bobcats break out. Don't have numbers. Spaghetti no. Blocked by Bosh. Saved by James. Wade will get a breakaway. What a play.
The Big 3 on display. Bosh with the block. James with an unbelievable save. And Wade finishes it off.
The analytics are screaming that the real superstars might be hiding in plain sight. Players the mainstream media is currently ignoring because they don't fit the prototypical mold. Today, we are deep diving into the 2026 NBA Draft. We're breaking down the untouchable trio, the analytic sleepers currently breaking the models, and a draft heist involving the Oklahoma City Thunder that could break the league's competitive balance for a decade. The Un-tradable Trio. Let's be clear, if your team lands a top 3 pick in 2026, they aren't trading it. Period. AJ Dybantsa, BYU. He's the physical outlier, a 6' 9" wing with a 7' 0" wingspan who moves with the fluidity of a gazelle. Some scouts are calling him a limitless ceiling prospect, comparing his scoring potential to a young Kevin Durant or Tracy McGrady. Cameron Boozer, Duke. The most pro-ready player we've seen in years. At 6 feet 9 inches and 250 pounds, he has his father's, Carlos Boozer, frame, but with the shooting touch and high IQ passing of a modern point forward. He's an efficient 20 and 10 machine who rarely makes the wrong play. Darryn Peterson, Kansas, the alpha, currently sitting at number 1 on many big boards despite an early season leg injury. He's a 6 foot 5 inch lead guard with Kobe-esque mid-range footwork and the ability to score at all 3 levels with ease. But here is the edgy truth. History tells us that in legendary classes, one of the top 3 is always a bust. Is it the health concerns with Peterson, the superstar ceiling questions surrounding Boozer, or Dybantsa's occasionally inconsistent motor? The riveting hook, the mid-roll pivot. Before we get to the sleepers, we need to address something the NBA doesn't want you to know. In 2026, the rookie scale contract for the number 1 overall pick is projected to exceed $60 million over 4 years. That is a massive investment. If a team misses on this pick, it doesn't just hurt their record, it cripples their salary cap for half a decade. And right now, there is one team that has engineered a heist so large, they might end up with 2 of these superstars. But to understand how, you have to look at the players the scouts are too scared to rank in the top 5. Let's look at the analytics sleepers. The analytics, sleepers and rising stars. While the world watches Duke and Kansas, the smart money is moving toward players like Caleb Wilson. Caleb Wilson, UNC, a 6 foot 10 inch pogo stick of a forward. He's raw, but his ability to guard all 5 positions makes him a unicorn in the making. If he develops his face-up game, he's the one player who could crash the top 3 party. Kingston Flemings, Houston. A dynamic point guard playing for the demanding Kelvin Sampson. His poise and ability to get to his spots at will have analytics departments drooling. He's the it factor player of this class. Yaxel Lendeborg, Michigan. The late bloomer. He has a 12% block rate and can switch onto guards effortlessly. He's the Swiss Army knife that championship contenders will be fighting for in the late lottery. The international threat and the OKC Heist. Then there is the mystery man, Karim López. Standing 6 feet 8 inches, playing against grown men in the NBL. He is the future face of Mexican basketball. He's a playmaker with a high basketball IQ, but scouts are polarized. Is he the next Luka Doncic, or just a high-end role player? And who owns all these picks? The Oklahoma City Thunder. Through a series of genius swaps and trades, OKC could land a top 5 talent while already having an MVP caliber roster. They are effectively stealing the future of the league. The cliffhanger, the leaked medical. But there is one story that hasn't hit the mainstream media yet. A secret that could flip this entire draft on its head. Whispers are emerging from a certain blue blood program regarding a chronic foot issue for one of the consensus top 3 prospects. Team doctors are reportedly trying to keep it quiet until after the NCAA tournament. But if these reports are true, the number 1 pick is no longer set in stone. We could be looking at a draft day slide reminiscent of Michael Porter Jr. I'm currently speaking with sources in training rooms to confirm which of the big 3 is flagged. I'll have that full update for you in our next video. Trade deadline, the disgruntled superstars. Now, let's pivot to the immediate firestorm. The February 5th trade deadline is approaching, and the league is in paralysis. Giannis Antetokounmpo. While he maintains loyalty, rumors out of Milwaukee suggest his patience is at an all-time low. If the Bucks don't make a move, the Brooklyn Nets are waiting with a mountain of picks. Ja Morant. The tension in Memphis has reached a breaking point. Reports of a fractured relationship with coach Tuomas Isalo have the Miami Heat preparing a massive culture reset. Offer, the buyers, sellers, and the AD dilemma. This year's deadline is defined by the Anthony Davis stalemate. Davis is currently sidelined with hand ligament damage, and Dallas is reportedly hesitant to commit to a $275 million extension. Do they shut him down to protect their 2026 draft odds? Or do they trade him to a team like the Toronto Raptors, who are looking to buy low? Meanwhile, the Phoenix Suns are hunting for depth, looking at names like Nick Richards to bolster a championship run. But here's the problem: the medical red flag, leak, and cliffhanger. But here is the story that hasn't hit the mainstream yet. We've been talking about Darryn Peterson's leg issues all season. While Kansas calls it minor, I've received information that a major insurance carrier for a top shoe brand has flagged this as a pre-existing chronic condition. If these medical reports are true, the number 1 pick is no longer set in stone. We could see a fall from grace that rivals the slide of Michael Porter Jr. I'm currently talking to sources in the training rooms to confirm the severity. Who do you think it is? Boozer, Peterson, or Dybantsa? I'll have the full leaked report in the next video. Drop a red flag in the comments if you want that video immediately. Subscribe to Primetime Frontline. We're getting to the bottom of this one.